Hello. I'm here to talk about the dress, AOC's dress, the dress incident. So I just ate an entire pizza, which doesn't seem to have helped my voice, but that's okay because my voice is pretty cringy anyway. So, the dress, some people think it's greens or blue, some people think it's gray. And so there's a whole debate online about it. And, okay, here's the deal. She goes to the Met Gala. And is she there to schmooze with the bouge? Whatever I'm saying. Is she there to hobnob with the hoity-toity? Yes, probably, maybe, I don't know. But I mean, honestly, this is not a shining moment for the right or for the left who are jumping on this. I'll get into it, but let's just say she just went to this thing and the only issue was the fact that she went to it and that she wore the dress that said the thing that said tax the rich on it, and that was the only, that was the whole scenario and the whole point of contention and of widespread, rage and indignation. That would be dumb, and I'll explain why. It's a gala for a museum that's a history museum, and I know people are just so worked up into politics that they can't think straight, but history is not like an anti-proletarian thing. Museums are not anti-proletarian. Everybody should, okay, I'm sure the Met has probably, has probably a bunch of stolen, artifacts from around the world, so you can argue that. But but that's not what people are arguing. People are just saying oh, you went to this fundraiser for history and only a terrible person would fundraise for history or hang around people who are fundraising for a museum. So it just shows that, even as terrible as AOC is, it's often in the moments where people think they're really nailing her and, they have this great gotcha moment when they're really playing themselves and making her look good. Why do y'all have to make her look good every time? It's just like Ben Shapiro. Everybody right of center and left of Maddow or left of, Cenk Uygur is just, basically sabotaging themselves, and it's sad. It's like you're making AOC look good. It's just, what I was going to say. Everybody to the right of center and everybody to the left of Cenk Uygur is Ben Shapiro right now. Raging because she's not sending feet pics or something. Or saying AOC said, tax the rich, so she doesn't understand economics, or just some cringy boomer no offense to the boomers that are not like this, but there's a certain type of Fox News watching boomer that just is oh my God, AOC and George Soros. There's just certain things that they're triggered by everything she does. She could just walk down the street and fart and they would make podcasts about it for the next 10 years about how that proves that socialism doesn't work, or now the left would say this proves, I don't know. So it's really dumb. Like, there are other issues that are valid that people could have with other aspects of what went on in that event. You know, like there was a protest outside against the police, who she claimed to support defund the police, and you know, AOC pretended to she basically, she posed as supporting defund the police, but she helped to fund the police in Washington, D.C., you know, because at the same time as, or I guess right after her whole year of virtue signaling about defunding the police and the police bad, the January 6th happened, and so she had to chime in with her fellow, you know, corrupt shitlibs about how, like, oh my God, the coup and the worst events in American history, yada yada. So of course, the Capitol Police were the great heroes that saved her. She claimed that she was scared that the protesters were going to rape her, and based on nothing. Just like, that's just like if somebody walks, you know, like a white woman walks by a black guy and says, like, you know, I was scared he was going to rape me. It's like, that doesn't say anything about him. That says everything about her. Nobody threatened to rape her. Nobody wanted, you know. So yeah, the cops were her heroes. So anyway, there was people protesting outside the Met, and they were getting basically assaulted, like, brutally by the police, and she ignored them. She didn't go out there. She never mentioned it. So that's an issue. You know, Jimmy Dore, at least, you know, like, he did, you know, address that. He kept it more on point than most people. I mean, he still was swinging pretty broadly, but at least he did address a lot of the real issues that people could actually have and should actually have with what happened. You know, another issue is that that he showed was that you know, the Met had a thing on its website or something saying, like, you can't go to the Met unless you wear a mask. And yet, as we see with these award ceremonies and all this stuff, all these talk shows and sports events, it's always like the rich celebrities never have to wear a mask, and they're always hugging and kissing each other and laughing, and while people with masks, like, huddle around and, like, serve them drinks and do stuff for them. So apparently, I think in this one, there's actually somebody wearing a mask, like, holding her dress, like, holding the train of her dress. So that's bad. That should be an issue. And, you know, this kind of insane, like, blatant class warfare where rich people don't have to wear a mask, but working class people do, poor people do. That's an issue. But the fact that she went to the thing, again, if you think that anybody's a scumbag for attending a charity for a museum, that means you hate museums. Like, I know, like, we're not supposed to criticize each other. We're just supposed to focus on, like, criticizing AOC and the fascists and whatever. But if we don't criticize each other, we're going to turn into them. You know, that's how AOC got how she is, because the people around her are all fucking sycophants. You know, they're all courtiers. And so I'm going to call shit out, especially really stupid shit that I see on the left and on the right and whatever among populists or supposed populists. Because, yeah, you're basically saying a fuck you to historians like me who rely on, you know, I rely on the Met. I've used a lot of their, you know, I've used their website and a lot of their information for my work. So it's not, that ain't it, you know, like, just because you hate AOC, like, you don't have to be like, AOC tied her shoes. Fuck people who tie their shoes. No, that's really dumb and lame. So, Yeah, I don't know. Like, and then the thing of like tax the rich, like people say, well, you're a hypocrite because you're with rich people and you're wearing that dress. Again, this is a stupid issue. This is making her look good. Why do you fucking have to make AOC look good? Like, there's nobody who doesn't already hate AOC that's really going to be compelled by that, like, quote unquote argument. Like, yeah, like the fact that she always says stuff like tax the rich, but she doesn't actually follow through, that's an issue, but that's just everything she says. That has nothing to do with this dress in particular. That's an issue with everything she's ever tweeted, basically. So again, it's stupid. Like, she believes in, or, you know, her rhetoric is taxing the rich. She doesn't actually believe in it, but we knew that. And so it's nothing special about this dress. And even honestly, I'm sure she could go either way on taxing the rich, as long as it goes to fund her beloved Capitol Police. But, you know, this idea, well, it's hypocritical because you're hanging out with the rich. It's just such splitting hairs and just like so nitpicky and just kind of wrong, because I would go to that thing. If I could get in there, I'd wear a fucking, you know, shirt that said like, I don't know, overthrow the government, or like, you know, land and resource inequality are theft or something. I would do that. And then everybody would hate me. Okay, I guess it's good we don't have real populists. We just have a bunch of monkeys hurling fucking turds at like, at anything that somebody does that they, you know, it's like, just everybody just becomes Ben Shapiro, and Ben Shapiro is cringe. He doesn't like really convince people. Maybe he did at one point convince a certain type of like conservative, or like, I don't know, but in general, he just is so cringe that he sabotages his own cause. And that's what everybody's doing with this. And people might say like, well, it doesn't matter. You should just like, you shouldn't criticize your fellow like radicals. You shouldn't criticize other populists because you're hurting our unity. I don't want unity if it under stupidity. This is stupid. I'm sorry. It's fucking dumb. Like, if y'all are out there hollering all this stuff and being all hardcore, then you can stand to take the truth. This is dumb. Like, you're helping her, and I resent you for that. You're making her fucking look good. You're giving her the better side of an argument, which she never deserves to have. You know, it's like criticizing Hitler because you don't like his mustache. You know, it's like, it's an insult to the real issues that AOC should be criticized for. So, yeah, fuck that shit. It's a fucking disgrace. And it just tells me that even a lot of these populists and on the left and the right, like, are not that much better than the elites. You know, if a lot of them got power, to hear the way a lot of people talk about, like, you know, fawn over like Bashar al-Assad, or like Muammar Gaddafi, or like, you know, Saddam Hussein and stuff, like, it's like a lot of these people will sell you down the river as soon as it's just the right flavor of fascism for them. You know, as long as it's not, you know, the particular country or government or individuals that they're against, but they don't have anything against like really fascism itself. But that dress, and oh my God, the gala, you know, I mean, a lot of it is, it's just this kind of like trying to tap into some kind of emotional class warfare, like, the rich people and the gala, and even it's maybe a type of sexism of like that woman in her dress and the gala, and, you know, and maybe resenting. I mean, there is a type of probably like feminine aristocracy that does irk a lot of people, but that's no reason to just like needlessly make ourselves look like idiots to tap into that. Like, like Marie Antoinette, you know, like people, they used Marie Antoinette to sell the French Revolution, because partly a lot of people were sexist openly back at that time. I mean, women were not really allowed to do shit. So here was this rich woman that was lording it over all these poor men. And so they made up shit about her. Like they said, she said, let them eat cake. Never said that. She never said that. It had also been attributed to women before her. It was always, I think it was always attributed to women. So it's like Marie Antoinette, she was basically, you know, she was not a good person either. She was helping to, you know, promote the reaction of the royalists against, you know, to save and stop the revolution, to save the monarchy. But this kind of literal, I mean, I think it does, maybe, you know, hopefully I'm wrong about, but anyway, no, I think there is at least an element of that, trying to tap into this kind of a mix of class warfare. I don't know if it's just the anger of the working man that, like, here's this woman who's like hobnobbing with these rich people and wearing this dress and being all fancy. I don't give a shit, dude. I don't care. Like, whether she didn't do that or did do that will have no impact on your life. Newsflash. Will not have any impact either way on your fucking life. So if you rage on about it, like, you should rage about the fact that there was a mask inequality there, but you should rage about that at like every event, sports events, you know, Hollywood events, etc. Not anything specific to the Met. And you should rage against her generally being a shill and not joining the protesters outside, not joining the anti-eviction protesters at the Capitol. Rage about that. But if you're raging because she went to fundraise for a museum and she was with rich people, is that it? Like, so if some like total shill is able to just say, well, I'm a total shill, but I don't hang out with rich people, that doesn't mean shit, you know? I would go there. I would fucking wear a shirt saying like all kinds of weird shit. It's just not an issue. Like, I guess people just get triggered because they saw like shit libs like tweeting it or something. So they're like, shit libs are tweeting this, I have to get real angry about it. But you don't. You can just ignore it, or you can just in passing say, well, she's a hypocrite. That's me. That's what I said. I was like, okay, well, I don't have nothing against somebody doing that. But in her case, she does happen to be a hypocrite, but that's nothing particular about this. That's about everything she ever says. It's not about this dress. It's about everything she tweets, everything she says is hypocritical. So making it about this dress and, oh, she went to the gala, it's making her look good. Like, I almost wonder if there are not like deep state operatives that promote these kind of like Ben Shapiro meltdown moments on Twitter and online, just because it makes AOC look better to, like, I mean, better than she really is, because it makes it look like she's such a great person that the worst anybody can think to criticize her for is that she wore a weird dress at a weird event, and yet she's actually facilitating genocide in Palestine and around the world. But the dress, man, it's like so fucking cringe. I'm sorry, like, I love you guys, you're comrades, but this is the road to defeat. This ain't it. All right, so yeah, like, I'm sorry, but there's no getting around this fact. Like, the more we just act like Ben Shapiro and just get triggered by everything she does and be like, ah, she's so dumb and get over it. Like focus on the real things, you know, like, because if there are people who are criticizing her who aren't even better than her. They're just like triggered right-wingers or populists or whoever they are who just hate her on principle. They just don't like her because she supported Black Lives Matter and George Soros, which is part of some globalist Illuminati, yada yada. And it's like they will just get triggered any fucking thing she does. It's not good. Like, I hate Joe Biden. I didn't get triggered when he pulled troops from Afghanistan like all these fucking, you know, conservatives did. And even some on the left. You know, like, you're helping him. You're making him look good. You're making him look like the peacenik, and he's fucking isn't. You know, he's totally pro-war. He has troops in Africa, troops in Syria. He's still killing people in Afghanistan. So the more you just like make it about personalities and just get so triggered by anything that somebody does, you're just helping that person. So I know there's probably some people doing this who are paid to actually do this because they're trying to help those people, and they're trying to make the left and the right and the populists look ridiculous. But for the rest of people going along with it, no, focus on real issues, for fuck's sakes. Like, you're not going to save the world just by tapping into some, you know, anti-Marie Antoinette thing. Like, even in France, like, that revolution went to shit. It did. And you know, they ended up just killing all these people. Basically got taken over by bourgeoisie, like Robespierre. They killed like anybody that, you know, looked at them funny. Then the more conservatives took over, more openly conservatives took over and killed all them. Then Napoleon took, you know, it's like, people want to look to the French Revolution as like, well, if you really want a revolution, you got to follow France. No, for fuck's sakes, like, pick up a book, dude. Read about the French Revolution. It was a total disaster. Like, there's, you know, arguably some good things came out of it, but they basically got pushed back into monarchy and totalitarianism for the next almost century. And arguably they're still in it. But yeah, so fuck AOC and fuck people who whatever, fuck AOC, but and the people who are her like total sycophants and courtiers and whatever. But for those people who are the AOC stans who are defending her on this point, they're actually right. And that's what pisses me off, is that all these supposed populists gave all these ghouls like a chance to be right about something, and for, you know, and to make us look like we're all fucking idiots. You know, I'm not parsing my words just because I suffer from this too. You know, like, I'm part of the left, I'm part of the populists, anti-establishment, and this makes us look shitty. This makes us look fucking stupid. So it's not gonna be the magic thing, the magic pamphlet that starts the revolution. It's just not. It's not how things work. And even if it would, that would probably be a really shitty revolution if it was just based on like, a dress, don't like that dress. I would run as fast as I could from that revolution. So, all right, that's my spiel. And anyway, take care, solidarity, and you know. Oh, and also taxes are stupid because our government literally prints money. They create money. Like, it's so dumb. Like, it would be... Okay, I think it's cutting me off. I gotta go. Take care.